Welcome back to another episode of A Record of My Father. Here today, we're going to talk about joy. We're going to talk about what brings joy, and is joy different than happiness, and is happiness different than joy? What do you think? Is it different?
Uh, well, since we try to be somewhat anti-scientific, joy definition, a feeling of great pleasure and happiness, tears of joy. What was the other one? Happiness.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see if they're happiness definition is in the state of happy. That's stuff. That's
That's a little
just
ridiculous. That's a little lazy.
that's lazy.
That's pretty
So then
lazy.
happy definition is feeling or showing pleasure or contentment. Melissa came in looking happy and excited. See, I think happy is a state of mind that lasts for a while, whereas joy to me is a feeling that I get. It's sort of a response. I mean, that's
Physical response. I
the
think
physical response.
yeah,
Hey,
I
take your
would say a
camera and
physical response.
bring it down just a little bit because I got 3/4. There you go. Perfect. Well, much better.
You
Much
want to
better.
see all the sauce on my lap? Here I got
Yep. Got to see all the
ranch.
sauce.
I got Chick-fil-A sauce,
Yeah.
and then I have, guess what I have here?
Yeah.
Road to, I guess, 2 weeks episode before this one. Two ketchups. I got two
Oh,
ketchups.
okay.
Yeah.
Did they bring you joy?
Honestly, the ranch from Chick-fil-A brings me joy. I don't know
Really?
what it is about the ranch there that I enjoy. And you know what I find the funniest part about that is that I was born in a blue cheese family. I was not born in a ranch family, which
Yeah.
I find to be interesting.
Later.
Enjoy it. Yeah. Well, mom, every time I come back, she's like, ranch is disgusting.
So you're saying that she gets no joy from ranch?
No, no, she does not like ranch. Well, I love mayonnaise, and if you really think about ranch, ranch is just like a kind of a mayonnaise's funny cousin. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think your taste buds are really kind of wrong.
When's the last time you ate ranch?
uh, I have no idea. Probably. What did I have today? I had some. I had a Reuben. What the hell's on a Reuben? Thousand Island.
Yeah, Thousand Island. Yeah.
That's the same thing as ranch, right?
No, that's completely different. What even is Thousand Island dressing?
It's that stuff they put on the. They call it the special sauce.
But it's not even. I don't even
It's
really
the
know what it
opposite.
would be.
But how are we getting joy out of this? When you think about joy,
Condiments bring me a lot of joy. I don't know what my life would
me
be
too.
like without pickles. I don't know.
Yeah,
But, I think
we have to do an episode when we think about future things, as we talked about doing one on condiments, and I think that's a great idea.
well, we already did that one. That one
Oh,
was
okay.
released 2 weeks ago.
We should do one then about dementia. Okay.
Dementia. That would be really good. I'd like that one.
We should do one about one we've already done, because then we can do it again, and then we can just keep doing it again and again, and we won't have to worry about it, right?
Dementia. Do we have it or do we not?
We don't know. What
We'll release that we'll release that bi-weekly or something like that.
We'll probably lose listeners at that point.
I think so. I think
Yeah,
so.
that'll definitely
would.
when you
But
think about joy. When I think about joy, it's like there are moments in my life that brought things to me. I mean, there's like financial joy, there's goal-oriented, work-oriented joy. There is, wow, the have the kid be born joy. There is marriage. Oh my God, we finally hooked. Joy. Those kind of things, and they're all kind of different. I mean, when I look at, I remember I have a distinct memory when I mean, I come from a less than financially secure background. So when I crossed a certain threshold, I got joy in making that in a limited amount of time, you know. Or when I sold the first company and they deposited the money in the account, and the president of the bank calls me and goes, "It seems like there's an error here," and I had joy, because here it was, and no president of any bank would have ever talked to me before then. But then all of a sudden, that's who I talk to now anytime I go to a bank. But different story. So that gave me this feeling of, and I think it was confidence with happiness that brought me joy, because it
well, I
was
think it's
sort of like,
success as well, right? I think that's
yeah, it's
kind of
success, but
derived from
the
a big
feeling of success is that not joy? or no?
I think it is to some degree.
Well, the weird thing is each successive very large success wasn't the same. It
How
didn't
so?
it didn't resonate. I got big numbers again and again and again multiple times, and it was sort of like I already passed the mark of all the things that I'm ever spend anything on in my life. So,
It might have
you
been
know,
the finality
yeah.
of it then.
So then subsequent to that, it was like, wow, that's a home run. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. What should you do? Well, I was gonna get sprinkles on my ice cream.
Well, I think it's going, and then you realize that you're done.
Yeah.
And then when you realize that you're done, you're like, wow. And it kind of is a reflective period at which you look at those past ones, and it's kind of
Yeah.
amalgamation of everything.
Yeah, and then you look at the joy itself, and you try to say to yourself, was it the success of that, or was it the success of the 8 months of beating the ground and giving multiple presentations again, a night, a day, 4-hour, 6-hour presentations to 30 people, having people machine gun questions at you, and you answered them and surpassed them and impressed them, and then they came forward, and then they made a bid that they thought was, and then the closure of it happening. So, because half of them don't, there's so many things that go wrong. And that was on the financial success or the work success. But like when we did the article and research, we did the show and research when you were looking for something and someone would call me, they would say, oh, we want to find such and such. And I would be like, okay. And I would go, look under something that no one else would look under, because I dealt with smart people and I always thought that they would look at all the obvious places. And then if I found it, they would be shocked and surprised, because the people that were calling were, significantly more educated than me. Many doctors, doctorates, library science masters and all that kind of stuff, and brilliant people. And then I would be the one that, little old state school guy would find what they were looking for, and they'd be shocked.
So being more intelligent, or I guess finding something that somebody who has a higher degree than you do, like you're finding something first before
Right.
they do, gives you joy. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, got it. It was amazing.
Intellectual
it was a
joy.
success. That
Okay.
gave me
Yeah.
joy, because it was like, if you were hunting for something, it's like looking for your glasses. Your wife says she loses her glasses. She can't find them. And you go somewhere and you pick them up and you find them and you walk in. That gives me joy to show that, hey, I found them. That little bit. It's not the same thing, but
Finding something does do that. I do.
It's a
agree.
microcosm of it. Your car keys, when you can't find them and you put your hand in your pocket and they're there, then you feel stupid. But if you find them, but if the cat picked them up and took them over to the cat box and buried them, and you find them there, you're like,
Yeah.
no one would look there. No one would have figured that out. And you figured out, well, I was eating tuna fish last night. I wonder if the cat picked them up. And then, and you're like, and you draw some weird conclusion out of left field and you figure it out. You're like, wow, that's cool. That is joy. And it's that feeling. It's like, it's something. You had a phrase when you were a kid, and you used to say, Iggy. And you used to close your eyes a little bit and you would say, Iggy. And that's when we would hug and cuddle. And that was a sense, to me, it was the everything that makes up joy, because that made me feel like, it's that Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
What is that Homer Simpson when he goes, and he just sort of gurgles?
I think that's just when he's drunk, right? No, it's not though.
No, it's when
like
he's
salivating, and
it's a combination of happiness and joy mixed together. Or satisfaction and happiness, and maybe that is joy.
That's just when he thinks about drinking, or he thinks about eating.
Yeah. Well, I think when he actually gets the drink, that is
3/4 of the way open, and he's leaning back, and
yeah,
man, that's great.
When he's in hell, and they okay, what we're gonna do is make you eat donuts, and he's like, huh?
I know the exact scene you're talking.
And they try to wipe him out eating donuts, and he's just like, yep. And they're like, this is not fair.
They
He's not
ran out
human.
of donuts too.
They ran out of donuts in hell.
Oh my gosh.
The ultimate thing.
What I
But
always think about too is the episode where it's Maggie on the thing, and it says like you're here forever or whatever, and then it's he covers it with photos and it says do it for her. But like in 3 episodes before that, he forgot her name or something like that. So I don't know. I think that's interesting. You're drinking my water bottle. You're using the water bottle.
yeah,
So
the
you
one
are
that
u-
you used, the one that you used for vodka.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so I guess it wasn't destroyed, was it? Huh?
It just tastes a little funny. That's all.
Does it really? Does it still taste? Good?
No, I get a little sloppy later in the broadcast.
Oh,
You know.
gotcha. No,
But
but
anyway,
I think the
uh,
electric feeling when when your hair stands up on the back of your neck or in
yeah,
the base of your skull. You ever feel that?
yeah.
You ever feel that?
Physical
Kinda
accomplishment.
runs up your spine like this and it hits
When
the
I
back of
was
your head.
21, I started working out and I started running. I started running track. I still lived at home. I was going to community college. I worked construction. I would go at the end of the day and I'd run the track. And I'd run. First, I got to a mile, got 2 miles, got 3 miles, got 4 miles, and got 5 miles. So I could do 20 laps. And I had BBs in my hand. I would count each time because it's really weird. You say, well, why would you need that? And it's like when you're running, you're not thinking about running. Otherwise, you're not running very far. Yeah. Oh, wow, this is hard. I think I can run at least 50 feet, but if you're not thinking, you do a lap and you just throw out a BB and then you look in your hand and there's none left. So
That's kind of like the thing when I'm running now. I'm like, that's probably a mile. I
right.
don't know. Or that's probably 2 miles. But in reality, it's probably about
Well,
a half
20
a
laps is
mile.
5 miles. It was a
Well,
quarter
I
mile
don't run
each one.
track though. I just run down the street and over to the another street.
I've
And another street.
done that, but I'm so weird about my nature of competitiveness and being track of things and all that. It's like
it doesn't work well. I'll tell you that much.
Because then I don't know what I've done, and I can't say, oh, I'm doing more, I'm doing less, I'm doing better, I'm doing worse.
Let's have a watch or something. Yeah, I guess I need. Like
well, no, when I look at my when I look at my steps, it's the same kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
When it's like, how many steps did you do today? And it's like, I don't care how many steps I did today. I mean, I do, but when I look at my steps, I look at the steps for the day, and it's 9,100 so far. Steps for the week is 10.6 average per day. Steps for the month is 9,900. So I really had a bad week, which was when I hurt my shoulder. And then I go, what's the steps for the year? 11,400 average per day. That's what I've done since January 1 of this year. I look last year, I did 10,175 per day. Wow. So I'm up like 14% over last year.
That's pretty good.
And I want to maintain that. But do you see what I just did?
Yeah.
I have all these little things that count what I did. Well, I used to do that. And I remember I ran and I wanted to do 7-minute miles. So I wanted to do 5 7-minute miles. I wanted to do 35 minutes. So I ran until, and it was like, and I had a watch, and I'd run the track, and I'd hit the button. I had a button that I hit. It's a stopwatch or it's something like that. I don't remember. It's a shitty little thing. And then I would know what it was. And I'm probably within a minute, but I knew that. And when I crossed the threshold, when I did 5 miles and I looked down and it was like 34:20, I was ecstatic. I think I ran probably, I don't know, maybe 10 more times, but it was hard. It was really hard. I couldn't run 5 miles. I could run 5 miles, but I couldn't. But I was doing it every day and I did it nonstop and it was just kind of like loopy crazy. I did the same thing with sit-ups. I used to do sit-ups and I would do them and I put on a record and I would try to do them all the way through the record. At first, I could do them all the way through a song. Then I could do them through a second song. But I used to listen to like The Captain and Me from iRobot. I put the albums on and I'd get a longer and longer successive album and try to just do sit-ups all the way through it. And it's like, how many sit-ups you do? And I'm like, I don't know. I just do them steady. Don't stop. And it's like, do you do 100? And I'm like, quite a few more, probably 400 or 500, I guess. But I did this until I completely, the album was going, and then it picks up and goes over and stops. And then I'm like, I stopped. And then I stopped doing sit-ups. It was kind of like weird, but it was a sense of joy and accomplishment. I still remember that day when I looked down at my hand and I had no BBs, and I looked over at my watch and it was 34 something. And it was like this,
That's pretty fast.
you have reached it. You have reached it. I was 21, long time ago. And this
and then
was
you never
drugless.
worked out ever again after that.
Yeah, and I mean, I do that, but I wasn't doing amphetamines then. I wasn't doing there wasn't any enhancements at that time.
No
I had
smoking. Yeah.
I was
Maybe-
smoking cigarettes then. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I was smoking every day. I was smoking about half pack.
Oh,
So
wow.
not that much, just a half pack. I mean, what's the problem with that?
Not
Come
that
on.
many, just 14.
Yeah.
What is that?
And they were
last
Marlboros, the Reds, cowboy
time?
killers.
12, sorry, yeah.
What are the coffin nails? We get them coffin nails. I remember all the
Coffin
different-
now. I like that saying. That's a good
Yeah,
saying.
all the different stories
I've
that
heard
people call them
cowboy
that.
killers.
Cowboy killers, yeah, they did that too. Wow, a lot of different people.
I'm really
different
working on trying to become the next Marlboro man. I
Mhm.
think that that's what would bring me the most joy.
You need a mustache.
If I could, did he have a mustache?
Yeah, he had a big mustache, rode on a cat. He had the hat and everything. But I think everybody sort of now affiliates. They after what was it? Freddie Mercury and all that. The mustache has turned into being somewhat of a Bill Barr or Bill whatever the hell his name was.
Bill
Says Burr, yeah, says Dick Duster. So it's
I think it's coming back in a major way, though.
but I
see
think it's
people
more
out
of a
here
gay thing. So it identifies more as homosexual.
Here,
So
I don't think so. I don't think
No?
it is. No, I think it's changing a lot, actually. And
I
that
think you
lot
need a
of
beard
people-
with it or a goatee,
No,
and that's why a
people
lot
out
of
here
guys
just
do
have
it.
mustaches.
Really?
A lot of people, yeah, and the mullet. The mullet is big now too, which
Yeah, but that's just stupid.
I personally don't understand. I personally
that's
don't,
like-
I don't get that.
My God,
I don't know
that's
why.
like chewing spaghetti. Like
I think it has something to do with the lack of nutrients in our food and how people are balding earlier, and the mullet makes up for that somehow. I don't know
Really?
why. I think they're both correlated some way.
well, maybe it makes them do more meth and they die younger, so then they
Maybe.
won't have to worry about being bald.
the lack
but-
of nutrients makes you do
but-
is what you're saying.
But we talked about joy.
Yeah.
We talk about joy and athleticism.
hmm
I mean, you've had a lot of joy in athleticism. I've seen you like go and become very fast. I've seen you become very strong, muscular. Then I've seen you say, "Oh, I'm going to get bulky and lose a bunch of weight, gain a bunch of weight, get more muscular and stuff like that." Do you get joy out of that?
I think it just keeps me from going insane. I think that's
Yeah.
pretty much what it does. If
Okay.
I don't have a physical kind of discourse with my life, then things get pretty wonky pretty fast. Because then I have
Yeah.
nothing to concentrate on. Nothing matters. So
Mhm.
I think that's kind of what I deal with. I mean, when my most recent thing is that I paused my gym membership, and now I'm just running full time and
Mhm.
skating again. I started skating again pretty consistently,
Oh, wow.
about 3 times a week. What with the running and
Well, that's a gateway drug.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
skateboarding.
Yes, absolutely.
Gateway drug to having fun. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, you can't do that. That's bad
Yeah.
for you, man. You don't want to do
It's
that.
bad to have fun. I think
Yeah.
having fun is the worst thing that you can possibly do for yourself.
Well, when you skate, I mean, is there a particular trick that? What about the first time you did a kickflip? I think
Oh
I
my
like that
God.
more than you.
That took me something. I don't know. I think
2.5
it's the,
years.
It took forever. It took
You
for freaking ever.
you hated life.
Oh god, I still hate skateboarding, but like
We had
that's
a
the whole
skate
point.
park. We had a skate park in the backyard,
Of it. Yeah,
and the kickflip when that came, it was just like you changed.
and
You
then
were
I
a different
snapped
person.
my ankle 4 years later, and I could never do it ever again.
Yeah,
I have to do heel flips now because it hurts my ankle so bad to flick
Yeah.
out like that. Yeah,
yeah.
I never do them anymore.
But it was
I still
to
can,
me.
but they hurt like hell.
Yeah, but the look on your face of satisfaction gave me joy.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's dedication. Dedication more than anything.
Yeah. Well, dedication is something for a long period of time where you got success. It's the same thing when you graduated from UVA. It was something that you had told me 3 years earlier you're going to do, and I was just like, really? I mean, I didn't say really. I encouraged you the whole time, and I was there, but my mind was saying, this is not what we do. This is not what the Browns do.
Nope,
And
we're stupid. We're stupid people.
right, exactly. But
We're really dumb and
you
stupid.
well, all my brothers and sisters have all gone to better schools than I've ever
I
gone
mean,
to.
yeah, they.
and
I mean, two of
they're
them went to
much
UVA, right?
they're much smarter.
Or I guess
UVA,
one, yeah.
Georgetown, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
They've
he went to
advanced.
Georgetown. I forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then other relatives, they went to all the different ones, and then have friends that have, they're all the super Ivies, the Harvards and the Yales and the University of Chicago and all those. And it's like, wow. And I've always thought that that was a big accomplishment. I mean, Old Dominion, I didn't. It was. It wasn't. It was okay. What I learned turned out to be invaluable because I learned a lot of different things about structuring a business, and I learned a little bit about every area, which I think helped me a great deal in life and building a business. But I mean, but as far as the school itself and Joy, I don't, not a lot of moments of, this, that, or the other. Just, I mean, meeting Doggy was fun, and drinking, when we were both sick and doing shots, that gave me a lot of joy. We did shots to the bottom. He had I had a bottle of Old Granddad, and he had Ouzo, and we each shot the bottles to the bottom. And then we declared that our colds were gone. And they were, because we couldn't move. I can't breathe. Well, then you don't have a cold.
Ouzo is foul business.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
gosh.
I did Sambuca too. That was
that's kind of similar.
That's the story with the penny. That's
very,
very
similar.
Yeah, it changes the color of the penny.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah. I drank a bottle of it, and then I booted it off the back of my bed, and my room smelled like licorice for like 3 days.
Oh,
and then
great.
I looked down on the ground on the end of my bed. It was clear. It looked like Johnson's wax, like you'd poured a bunch and it got hard and it was kind of waxy. And I saw a penny in the middle. The penny was green.
Oh, wow.
It had dissolved the outer layer of the penny. This is what I drank and gave back. And people were like, my God, your room smells like licorice. What the hell? And I'm like, oh, I don't know what it is. And then I didn't realize that, and then I found it.
Did you end up cleaning it up, or did you just move out?
No, I cleaned that up. There were other times I didn't. I mean, I had full beer cans glued to, I lived in a small room. It was $100 a month.
Like a
and the room was slanted, and it had beer glued to the ceiling. So when I graduated, we were popping the beers and drinking them, off the ceiling. Yeah, it was,
that's great.
A lot of crazy,
That's great.
There was fun. There was joy there. I think there was joy in my roommates, joy with what we did. But as far as like, I had a few things that added to it. I mean, I look back to like childhood and things like that. I can't. They're joyous moments, coming to the end of probation, not being caught for taking a car.
But it was
those kind of things.
It was indefinite probation, I thought.
Oh God, yeah. I was.
So how did you
19 months.
know you were coming to the end of it?
I didn't. It was when they just said we're not going to do this anymore.
Oh,
it was boom, boom. It's like, I think you're fine enough. You're good. I had a psych eval on the front end. I had a psych eval on the back end, and they said, no, you're okay now. Go away. And it's like
somebody just didn't want to do their job anymore.
Well, yeah, and the guy was pretty nice, and I was working a bunch, and I was going to school, and I was in and I was 10th grade. It's like, and it was really, really silly. But they probably put me in jail for life today for the same little.
Oh, 100%.
Firecrackers you just don't do in the school. That's a bad idea. People don't think that is funny anymore.
When you told me that story for the first time, I was surprised that I even exist.
Yeah.
I was pretty shocked.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Here we are, and now we have a multi-million dollar platform for our podcast.
Yeah, we got is it 150,000 subscribers?
Yep, something like that. That's crazy.
If we count each one 100,000 times.
Yeah, something like that.
Or 10,000 times, something like that.
We're growing in numbers, and we're gonna.
I know. I was surprised by the number of hits last. I was just like, wow, it's actually going.
Shocked. We love you guys.
Yeah.
We love you guys
well, that's. I mean, in essence, this thing that you started, that you had an idea for, this gives me joy.
Mm-hmm.
It does. It's so funny that I come up here and you have some weird topic or some topic that we kind of kibitz about back and forth and say, what do you want to talk about? Let's talk about English. Let's talk about support. Let's talk about, you know, why do they change user interfaces every month when we're going to do that episode coming up
That'll
after
be next
the
week's.
CrowdStrike
Yeah,
crash.
that'll be great.
App updates that you're just like, why'd you do this? What's the point of this? Just to piss me off,
Yeah. No, that's what a lot of interface stuff is. It's just angry so that
the argument is that you need to change your whole front end and interface every, I think it was like 18 months to appear to be innovative. But just changing the skin is, the color, who cares? You can do that and they can probably do that in 20 minutes.
Well, let me ask you this. The grocery stores where you have the automatic checkouts?
Yeah.
Imagine if we reverted back to just having only the grocery store clerks, right? At each kind of place. Would that not be faster than the self-checkouts that we have today?
Well, you figure where, for instance, the Giant we go to.
Yeah.
They have, let's say, where that little area is, the big square, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 12. They have 12. So they would need 12 aisles. They would need 12 people handling that. There's 2, most times only 1, handling that particular thing. Are people happier when they have a person? And most of the people that actually check out now are trainees. They're newbies. You rarely see the very, very experienced person. You have one experienced person who just like whips through 900 people in a second, and then you have the other 3 aisles are trainees. And I think
it does seem like they're slower. Yeah, I agree.
Because they're trying to encourage you to make it fully automated, because fully automated means no union pay, no interaction with staff. You need less management to manage the store. All it is equipment. And equipment is something that doesn't talk back, and it's a fixed price.
Well, you know what I mean? Third of the employees too, because you don't have the clerks anymore.
Right. That's when I talk about getting rid of the unions. That's how they get to crush them slowly, is by replacing all the jobs.
Automation, that's crazy.
But it's funny.
It's sad,
it's funny. I was watching this today, and a meme is like when people said, "Well, if it's a co-opt, and we bought a bunch of machines, and we say we had 10 people that worked there, and the machines did half the work that the 10 people did, and so you get rid of 5, right?" So that's capitalism. But the other side of the coin is, what if you kept the people and you made them work less? I mean, interesting, huh?
That is interesting.
Because at some point you're going to pay for them. I mean, think about Walmart. When you start getting rid of people, the people that go there and are on welfare because they don't pay a living wage, you and I, as you're paying taxes now, we're paying so people can work at Walmart, and the Walmart people at the top can make billions of dollars.
Well, if you think about it too, automation is only kind of recreating this caste system that we kind of have gotten rid of after.
I think it's enforcing it. Yeah.
I mean, ever since the 30s, if you look at the Grapes of Wrath, man, when those orange guys owned the orchards, and then they had those people come in from Oklahoma and the other places and work for what was it, 25 cents a barrel of oranges, but then they were saying, these ones are bruised, we're not going to pay you a full price for the one crate. Right. And then they would do that all the time. And I think since then, or even really since Jamestown and the early colonies, do you know that 69% it was like over 80% of the property during the colonies, the 13 colonies, was owned by like 2% of the people or something like that, or 2 to 4% of the people. It was crazy. Howard's in People's America. That was
it doesn't surprise
a quote from there. But that ever since, so this has existed. This isn't a new thing.
Right. Well, think about it. That's why when we talk about taxing the rich, that all of a sudden the person that talked about taxing the rich is being shot upon.
Yeah.
We don't want that person in charge, I mean, you started to look at Elon Musk. Used to be this strong, staunch Democrat guy. And then the Democrats came out and said, we're going to tax the billionaires, which is going to cost them, 8 or 10 more billion.
Yeah.
So now he's pledged 200 million to the Trump campaign, and you're thinking like, wow, that's a lot of money. No, it's a $200 million bet to basically save $8 million. And I got to tell you, that's a bet I'd make every day.
Well, that was like when he got rid of the inheritance tax when one of the Koch brothers died. And I thought that was also pretty crazy.
That was crazy because you had a person that died and had $60 billion, and it went to the heirs. And I think that they saved like 32 billion in taxes. And it's like, I mean, that's like almost half of what we give poor people for welfare. That the whole freaking program right there. One person. You just go like, I mean, if Musk died tomorrow and half of his wealth was taken, what is he like? What is he? 200 billion?
Something like that.
If they taxed his wealth, oh my God, that would pay for all of our welfare, all of it. It would pay for all of the school program.
They would never let it go to that though. They never would.
I mean, just think
the money would get lost in another
I'm
audit.
saying they had a 55% tax, and it's like, well, but the reason is that they've never been taxed on that before. People say, well, I can't believe I got to pay taxes on money that my uncle made. And they're like, he didn't make it. He grew a business and never paid taxes on any of that he grew. And they void tax for a year. Here we are talking about taxes when we're talking about joy.
Yeah, I was about to get.
We're sidetracking. We're really sidetracking.
Us back. We are down to our last 7 minutes here, so I just want to give a time warning. A little time warning. Maybe next week we'll actually do what we said we would do last week and
moments with my mother.
Do the hour, but
I had moments of joy with my mother, with my sister, of course, and brother. There were just times that I remember fishing with Seth. That he was just funny.
You post that photo every year of you holding that fish on Facebook.
Yeah, and he's right behind me, and he's holding another fish, and his fish is bigger. That asshole, but.
That was in the.
But
canoe.
It was just.
That was in the canoe, right? That we owned.
No, it wasn't a canoe. It was a flatboat. Little motorboat that we rode on up and down the Potomac. I think
that boat always made me want to get one, and I still want to do
really cool. Well, I
still want to do a kayak trip down.
You can actually get them with the ones that have a seat, like a big seat that you can sit in and have a seat in the front, seats in the back. Really, really nice. You get real seated, and they're not that big. You get ones that have that are engine blown or something, so you can go in really shallow water, and there's all sorts of things like that.
You know what we should do? What I was trying to plan with William actually when he was back. Was either a kayak or a boat trip starting in the Potomac and going all the way to the Chesapeake Bay. I think that would be a tremendous thing to do. I think
so. Rent a boat.
I mean, kayak or what have you.
Does he know how to sail?
Yeah. He's been sailing his whole life. Yeah.
So we would rent a sailboat.
Sailboat or kayak. I don't know. It's a lot of paddling though, isn't it? How many miles is that? I don't really know.
I know. I don't want to do that. I want a sailboat. I want a sailboat with a lot of liquor. And William doing all the controls and me sitting in the back going like, yo, go faster. What the hell?
I'll tag him in this episode. And
we ain't got no wind. That would give me joy.
I don't know if there's any wind on the Potomac to actually.
Oh God, there
sail.
is. There is.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's Nick Keaton had sailboats. He went in there. He actually got struck by lightning twice in the Potomac. Twice. How weird is that?
Well, that wouldn't bring me joy. I got to tell you that.
Yeah. Much. Well, and I'm like, and you're still alive. I guess I have no joy. But anyway, I'm such a mean person.
Yeah. No, it's dangerous in the DC area because you don't really know when
animals
could do that.
Animals bring me joy. I got to tell you that. I'm over talking you because you're doing what I do. You're taking a
tangent,
off.
Man. What about Fromage? You miss Fromage?
Oh God, I love Fromage. Fromage was the love of my life. I have certain dogs and cats and just animals. I don't really care, Things that love me unconditionally give me joy.
Do you think Fromage loved you? You think Fromage did?
Well, I don't know because I could pick up the cat, I walk around with her, and I never had a problem. And I remember the cat when she was like 4 inches tall, and she's tried to go up. We had at the other house we lived at, there's a carpeted stairwell, and the cat wasn't tall enough for one stair, so she would get up like 4 stairs, get tired, and then just start meow, 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 meow. And I remember going and picking her up, going, Fromage, what the hell? I remember how her name came about. That's a big story, and it just, yeah.
I was just gonna say, to think that they died about 10 years ago is
Yeah.
crazy. How wild is it?
And then
Or
your
11
mom,
years?
who
Something
said, "No way would I ever have a dog. Dogs lick you. It's disgusting. I would never have them." 2 years later, boom, we get 2 dogs. One dog. Then
I
we
don't even think it was 2 years. I think it was a year. I think
wasn't
it
that
was.
long, but it was fun. So funny. Let's get a dog, and then we went out. We got Yub Yub.
I remember you guys kept pitching me on it, and you're like, "Do you want a dog?" I'm like, "No." And then you were like, "You sure? You
Well, we
sure
wanted
you don't want a
you-
dog? You wanted me to want one, and I never was going to." And you're
Yeah,
like,
you
"Ah,
weren't.
all right,
Because it was
let's
all
go."
about you cleaning this box or that box or
And I never
know.
wanted to do that, so I was like, "I don't want a dog of it."
right, exactly. And then it came down to your mother wanted to clean the box, so she
Yeah.
got the dog.
Exactly.
And then we take them outside, so it's not that
They don't
crazy.
even really have a box because they're dogs.
Yeah, they don't know. I take them outside, and their poop dissolves in like a couple days anyway, so it's not that big a
About
deal.
as big as a quarter.
But they give me Yoshi gives me so much joy. So does Yub Yub. There's just a certain amount of when they love you, and he jumps up on me, and he's smiling in the morning, and he barks, and he's so happy to see me, and he jumps on me. I mean, and he does this to everybody. I went hiking today with Jeff, and he jumps on Jeff, and he's just all over Jeff, just like he's never seen him before. He's like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah," and they're licking him on the kneecaps and jumping up and down and wagging his tail and running around in a circle and jumping. Yeah, just crazy.
Well, I think that's a good note to leave off on as we're coming down to our final minutes here. Thank you guys for sticking with us through this year thus far. We thank you guys a lot. Without you guys, we wouldn't be doing it. We probably would be doing it, but it's nice to know that other people care. I think that
Isn't it?
It is.
And
it's really nice.
Joy makes me smile. Joe Rogan make me smile.
Yep.
There you go.
All right. See you guys later.